All right. My voice is awful, but who cares? I'm just going to go with it. So, all the hype, I didn't feel like putting Ukraine in the title or anything else like that because honestly, I'm over that. But people are still talking about Ukraine, pretending they give a fuck. They don't care about Ukraine. Okay? You have to realize that a lot of people use political beliefs as simply clothing choices. Like, it's cold outside. I need to wear a jacket. Oh, Russia is overall the bad guy. So I'm going to pretend I care about Poland and the Baltic countries, this and that. We have to pretend to care about them. If it was any other day, we would be shitting all over them, you know, such as Poland, for example. Like I say, people love the make, but people love to talk about Poland or something like that and say, our Polish brothers, we're going to defend them. And then make fun of Poland because they're Catholic and because they say naughty things and whatnot, and they try to distance themselves from the Holocaust, they're seen as bad. But in defense, but because they dislike Russia, because the West hates Russia, we're gonna say something. We're gonna be naughty, naughty, naughty. Um. So yeah, that's my view of it. Political beliefs are simply clothing choices that people make. I Like I say, when I saw that Vosh was, like I said, you have to realize is that the whole ACAB stuff, the whole America bad, the imperialism and whatnot. Oh, but Russia's imperialism's worse, so we have to side with America. This is always the hypocrisy of it all. You realize that these people don't care about political beliefs. They do not care. You don't care about these issues. They don't care about being consistent. They don't. All cops are bastards, right? Until January 6th, and then suddenly it's like, oh, those cops sure are, they bravely defended the Capitol, this and that. And everyone suddenly becomes like an American patriot, right? It's like we're the true people defending America from these far right fascists, you know? Doesn't make sense to me. It's one of those things. I think a lot of people, yeah, political beliefs at this point are just the "hello fellow kids" meme at this point. Twitch politics is a fashion magazine. Yeah, it really is. Political, a lot of people's beliefs shift faster than the winds, and people do what's popular. It's popular to crap on Russia. It's popular to do that. It's popular to do that and to hate everything Russia does, this and that. Um, and realizing that, you know, Germany is not going to do anything. But Germany is smart because ultimately they're like, well, we need gas. We need to heat our homes. So yeah, okay. So they learn to play the game. You know, I just think it's ridiculous when you see these sorts of beliefs and all this sort of hysteria over what's going on in the whole field of politics. You realize just how ridiculous it is, right? Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Get ready for the fuck the troops left us to suddenly pretend like they give a shit about our sons and daughters. Exactly. Pentagon says that Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin has put up 8,500 troops on a heightened alert so they will be prepared to deploy. I mean, it's so ridiculous, and you realize just how ridiculous it is. It's the same type of thing, I'm sure. I'm going to make this comparison, and people may not believe it, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. Where they'll be like, they'll look at the First World War, right? And suddenly, all these so-called lefty groups became they became more nationalistic, and so the idea of international communism suddenly disappeared, right? And they ultimately supported their countries, and so people considered this, a betrayal of internationalism, this and that. Yeah, MLs, libs, bread tubers are all shooting themselves in the foot. Oh, absolutely. But their audiences are too dumb to realize it, and they're all just kind of going along. You know, Secretary of Ukraine's National Security and Defense. See, the thing is that they, like I say, the propaganda works both ways, right? You can go ahead and say Russia isn't perfect. Fine, I'm not going to sit here and claim they are. What I will say though is that why is nobody talking about the Ukrainians being backed by Israel and all this sort of thing? All these anti-Zionists, no word, crickets. No talk about that. The huge amount of corruption that exists. The Ukrainian only language that is pushed in Ukraine. The SS marches that occur with guys dressed in SS uniforms and stuff like that. No words. No words. We're not going to talk about that. No, 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 no. You know, this and that. Apparently, according to people like Vosh, Russia's just going to invade and everything else like that. Nobody cares about Ukraine. I'm just going to tell you that. I'm sorry. And I know I do see the shock raised here, but the West does not care about Ukraine. They don't. The West pretends that they do. Same thing that they care about the Balkans. Same thing that they care about Poland, but will then make fun of them and insult them when they try to rear up from themselves. And it's basically you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, right? You either choose one guy or the other. At least that's my view anyway. That's my view. A lot of these folks pretend they give a shit about what happens, um, but they don't. You know. Anyway, I wanted to put this out. I know my voice is very hoarse, very rough to hear, and I apologize. It's probably harder to understand me than normal, which is kind of a stretch, but yeah. You see all this sort of stuff that's going on. You see all this sort of faithwall that's happening, and you realize, this is the way it is, right? U.S. supported genocide. Yeah. I'm just reading these tweets from these folks, but yeah. Yep. That is true. That is true. The West is glib, whereas I think Russia is just more honest about their portrayals. I think that's why people, to a point, respect Russia. Is that Russia doesn't fuck around? They're like, yeah, if you try to fuck around in Kazakhstan, we're gonna make sure that you're not gonna take away our bit of stuff. Whereas the West gives the presentation that they care, when in reality they don't. they will do the same sort of tactics as Russia. Um, in my opinion, it's very tiring. It gets very tiring when you see all this sort of stuff, and you realize that people just go back and forth, forth and back, just like the wind. Yeah, I'm against both sides. I've always been isolationist against Russia and the West. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Like I say, what does it mean with American control now, right? You know, I don't know. I just want to do a short little video. Hope y'all like it. Well, no, there's not much else I have to say, but yeah, I agree. I'm blocking the porn ones. I'm blocking the porn ones, y'all. We're not dealing with that today. We're not dealing with that tonight. Yeah, knowing they lie all the time. Actually finding humor in their pathetic attempts to manipulate. Yeah. Yeah. What I do, we see all the sort of attempts that go on. It's all a joke. It's all a game, bro. It's all a game. It is. That's how I feel anyway. It's all a game. It's all a farce. But ultimately, we are forced to choose sides. We're forced to engage in this sort of nonsense. We we're told about who we have to join, this and that, and you feel these loyalties. You do. You feel these loyalties that you don't completely feel, but you feel obliged to believe in because it's all you know, right? You know. Yeah. It's funny though to see leftist bread tubers and MLs turn to neocons for superpowers. Oh, absolutely. Exactly. It is funny to see, it's like, well, America bad, but Russia worse. So, it's all just cheap talk at this point. It really is. It's all just cheap talk that occurs, and it's all just a way to pretend that you care about people, this and that with their politics. That's all I can really say. Yep, yep, that's all. Evening dissonant thoughts, how are you? We're just kind of vibing for a little bit. I'll probably wrap it up pretty soon. I apologize for the voice, folks. I'm just still getting over this cold. Yeah. Yeah, may as well be trots. Exactly. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's all just silly to see. It really is. It's all yapping dogs, really, at this point. It's all just yapping, bark, 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 at Russia, this and that, pretending that they care, pretending that, insulting these folks will make a difference. you know. Oh, that's all I got though. I'm getting real sleepy. So I hope y'all enjoyed this. It's just more of a video to say, hey, I'm still here. Yeah, the same old rants basically, and really hadn't been that much been going on. But yeah, what the hell? You know what I mean? It is what it is. So I figured I'd put it out there. I figure I'd put it out there whether you want me to or not. It is what it is. So it is what it is. I would just say to folks, man, be careful about what you co-sign. You know. Oh boy. Oh, Bubba. Oh boy. Okay. I think I'm getting too damn sleepy. Anyway, hope y'all enjoyed that. So see you later. Goodbye. Sorry to cut it so early there, Dissident Thoughts, but yeah. See you later.